Just recently, the conversion of Marco Pierre White's troubled son to Islam took the internet by storm. Marco Pierre White, famous for his culinary excellence, worked in the finest restaurants in the world and became the youngest chef ever to earn a Michelin star. However, things didn't go well with his 28-year-old son, who cost the chef more than £1 million for rehab. That is right, Marco Pierre White Jr. has a long history of addiction, resulting in almost 17 rehab visits. A staggering amount of £80,000 a month was spent on his rehab in Malibu and £27,000 a week in Priory. Rehabs in Kent, Kensington, and Utah also couldn't defeat the strength of his addiction. But life took a twist when he was sent to prison. The celebrity Big Brother star seems to come out of the prison completely clean. In this video, we will dive into what made Marco Jr. convert to Islam and how Islam helped him overcome his addiction when nothing else was of any help. Marco Pierre White Jr. was released after serving a year in jail. Shoplifting, knife, and heroin possession were the charges against him. He was also held accountable for race hate crimes. Marco once abused a supermarket security guard. Even though Marco denies this charge against him, in 2019, he was charged with using the N-word for a police officer arresting him for being high. The same year, he was dragged to a police station after being arrested for smashing windows. He also appeared accused of not paying the bill at a cafe. And this was not the end of his haphazard behavior and desperation. He sold his Rolex Daytona worth £27,000 for only 1 gram of cocaine worth £100. He later traded his £19,000 Hublot watch for an ounce of cocaine. All his crimes piled up, leading to his ultimate sentence. But things took a turn for him during his jail time. He turned towards Allah, vowing never to touch drugs again. Life in prison opened his eyes when he realized how blessed he was and how he was throwing all away. Pierre White Jr. confessed, "But Islam has helped me get through everything." This realization came after years of battling to stay clean. His conversion to Islam, however, was equally supported by his chef's father. Despite sipping a beer, Marco revealed how he prays 5 times daily. He said that in prison, he witnessed cellmates praying. Furthermore, he often listened to them talk about the Islamic community and the Quran. At this time, he realized that a lot of it made sense. He added that he went through the Quran himself, and his interest grew deeper. Marco also mentions that when he prayed to Allah, he would ask for his sins to be forgiven. He would ask Allah for protection and strength and the safety of his family. All has come true, which strengthened his faith further. Furthermore, Marco narrated a heartfelt experience with his 3-year-old daughter, Arabella Rose. He expressed his sadness over missing out on a year of his daughter's life while in jail. He believed that this also determined him to never to fall into drugs again. The former addict said, "When I was in prison, I'd call Arabella, and I always told her I was at work. I didn't allow her to visit me as I didn't want her to see her daddy in jail." He said that her face lit up when he got out and saw her. She hugged him tightly and wouldn't let go. Marco Jr. added that his daughter is his love of life, and he can't let her suffer more. In prison, frustration got the best of him. His left arm shows scars and cuts from when he tried harming himself. This also kept him under watch, being surrounded by murderers, rapists, and for small petty crimes. Marco was devastated. He explains the prison as a madhouse where people scream and shout all night. It was a terrifying place for him, which kept him wide awake. All this contributed to raising his anxiety to new levels. During these harsh realities, he recalled what he was blessed with in Chelsea. Realization poured in his heart as he remembered how his father did everything to make him happy, forgiving him his very own apartment at 13, to having a minder who would care for his needs. His life seemed very entertaining when he was busy partying in Ibiza. He says he was out of control as a teenager because he had too much money too young. Being used to his comfortable bubble created many difficulties for Marco in prison, as he couldn't conduct himself properly. Marco also believes that his popularity made him an easy target. In prison, he was terrified because he was sharing a cell with a 55-year-old murderer. To worsen the situation, both used an open toilet in the center of the cell. For a non-violent man like Marco getting into prison, fights was a big deal. During his prison time in HMP Bristol and Channings Wood in Agwell, Devon, he experienced a lot of beating by black inmate gangs. He once got stabbed in the neck and also lost 3 teeth. Later, he was moved to a single cell to ensure his safety. He strongly believes that his jail time changed his life, or he would have spent his life as an addict. Having fine food all his life, prison food was difficult to digest. He narrates how he ate only sealed noodle ramen. His determination to stay off drugs was evident when he refused cannabis and other drugs inside the prison. The jail time made him realize how he had enough of it. His guilt seeped deeper when he restrained his father from visiting him. But his father's constant support motivated him to become a better person. Marco says, "Going to prison made me realize what I have put him through." Marco added that he wants to maintain his sobriety and make his father proud. Prison appears to be a blessing in disguise for Marco, as the punishment was well served. After coming out, he believes this is his last chance to prove himself. Marco plans to follow in his father's footsteps and work in the family business as a chef. He's given another chance to put his talent to good use. His story reminds us of how God puts those who have gone astray through hardships so that they can find their way back to the right path. For now, all that is important to Marco is bringing his life back to routine with gym, prayers, and his daughter. With this, we come to the end of our video. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you liked the video. Your views are always appreciated by us in the comments. Stay tuned till we meet again, inshallah.